Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. I hope everybody is feeling good today. Generally feeling how things are going. And thank you for joining me. It's early in the morning. And I'm just thinking about who's going to be our next president. Who's going to be our next president? President of the U.S. I just saw a video, and it was Joe Biden. And the way he was walking, it was scary. I mean, you look at the way he walks. I mean, a president should have strength, right? Strength, mental and physical strength. And of course, strength of character. But Joe doesn't seem like he could even, he's just like he's aging so fast. I mean, Joe Biden has been in politics his entire life. And does he have the stamina? I mean, you take somebody like Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy is in his prime. He is physically able to walk, to jump, and move around. Now, the thing we have to ask is Joe Biden, I mean, it's painful to watch. It's painful. It's not funny. It's painful. And there's so many people in this country. Why do we have to have someone who should be sitting down and relaxing? I mean, that is not leadership. Leadership is knowing that you can physically handle the job, mentally comprehend, fast. Why? Joe Biden has had his best years behind him. Can he last 4 more years? How is he now? 81, 85 years of age? You have to ask yourself, when somebody is younger, they have skin in the game. They have a reason to see, they have a vision and a reason and the strength to pursue the vision and the reason. But when somebody's older, I've seen that before, and I mean, we just cannot have that kind of stamina. We need more stamina. So let's see, who will be? Trump, Kennedy, Harris, Joe. I mean, Joe has a lot of ideas, and whether you agree or not agree, the point is we're just talking about Joe is in a human body. We're talking about a human body, right? A human body, not one with additives. We're not talking about half machine. We're talking about a human body. Now, anyone can look. Anybody who really looks can see that Joe Biden does not have the body for the job. I mean, how many 81-year-olds even want to be in this position of president? But how many 81-year-olds can have the stamina, mentally and physically, to be at the helm of 350 million people? Untrue. We could be a country in decline. However, I'm sure with the right mobilization, we can turn this down cycle around. The ninth motivation. A president is a cheerleader. A president is not a patient of a care home. Sorry to be so blunt, but a president is a cheerleader. He stirs the country. He's emphatic. He's exciting. He's an invigorator. Now, who among the 3 candidates we have so far that are making the most public noise, public shouts, or filling the airwaves are Trump, Kennedy, and Biden. Now, we have to think, how come there's only 3 in this country of 3.5 mil and growing each day with immigrants coming in? How can we how can we follow these parameters? I'm sure that any state has sensible people in it, a sensible person who has stamina, who has this, who has that, and can get the job done. What does it take? It takes knowledge. Not every politician is very smart. We know that. But to be the president, you need to do research. You need to be able to read and write and talk and jump and walk. You need to give like an impression that I'm gonna, that a firmness, not a feebleness. And yes, we all get old. We all get old, and all of us don't all age the same. We know that. So it's not like somebody's too old just because they have a number. However, being old is more than just keeping your weight down. You have to work out. We have nothing but sitting and talking and sitting and talking and a bunch of dictates that are depressing. That's what leadership is evolved to. Who can we trust to tell us no, to show us? Not just rolling up the sleeve and taking injections. We need someone to marshal the spirit of what it means to be an American. Who's going to give us the feeling of, wow, that was really an interesting, stimulating speech. Who can do that without rambling and making mistakes? You can't do that. It's purposely being demoralizing. Okay, so let's see. 3 candidates, we'll see. Now, shall we do each one separately? Probably. All right, let's do Joe Biden. All right, let's do a read first, a tarot read on Joe Biden. Will he be the president of the United States? Will he be? Will he be the president of the United States? I wonder, when somebody goes after being a president, how is their love? Their love life. They never speak about I love. I don't hear those words too much from any of the candidates. I love. Of course, we have people who say, this is my wife, this is my husband, but how many people are unabashedly proud to say, I love this person? It sounds kind of mushy, maybe, but don't you think we need, as a people, to hear these things, not just making excuses for behavior? Yes, you can stand by anyone's side, but you can also get a pet to do the same thing. You get a pet to do the same thing. So, a horse, a cow, they can stand by your side. A dog. However, don't you think in this age of autonomous everything, that a true human, we need a true human being to be the president. So, let's see now, Joe Biden. Let's take 3 cards and see where Joe Biden stands for something more about, his humanity. All right, let's get 3 random aspects, all right, that we can build on. And we have Joe Biden. Okay, you can say he's a workaholic. I would say, or somebody's work. He has being in. I wouldn't say he's an not an alcoholic, a workaholic, because he's had a lot of vacation time. I think 1/3 of his presidency has been on vacation, at least. Now, anyway, we're saying that he's in the job already, so that's workable. That's the workability. He has his team. Of course, he's already there. He's already showed you what he could do. And people are happy. Or there is a celebration. We'll have to investigate this one. With the prices going up, how can there be, what kind of celebration is this? So it works. It's already done, meaning a lot of the marketing is already done. The marketing, you mean Joe Biden is the president, Joe Biden should be another president. And we have the hermit. Strange, the hermit. Well, this is what we have about Joe Biden. Now, we'll have to investigate. We have the hermit. What kind of hermit is this? And what kind of celebrations is this? And what kind of work are we talking about? Because we know if someone cannot physically walk, they don't do, and they have a memory that trails, they're not working. We know that. We know that. We can stop. I mean, a lot of his plans sound very, very very interesting and good. However, physically, I look at Joe Biden and I feel I could breathe and he'd fall over. I mean, except for getting angry. And anybody who's watched The Simpsons even once or twice knows the angry old grandpa. I mean, that's not that doesn't having strong emotion, anger emotion, is not a qualification for being a president. I mean, come on. We want a person who can help us lead, leadership, not somebody who's going to fall apart, who's already falling apart. There's nothing wrong with getting old. There's nothing wrong with getting old. You just have to admit, I'm old. I'm old. I'm old, but I still have my faculties. I'm old and I'm tired. You can say that. You can say, I'm old and I'm tired. Because, when somebody is old, you reach a point, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do that. I'm old. That will handle itself. Blah, 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 blah. So, now, sorry for your ears. Right there. But anyway, let's see now. What kind of work are we talking about? What kind of work ethics are we talking about? What kind of work? What kind of work? The work card. Does it mean it's going to be a lot of work to get him reelected? Could be. Let's see. All right, we have these two cards here. It's going to explain a bit randomly, excuse me, about work. Just a second. I see these cards are not aligned, not all of them. Anyway, here we have an inverted 7 of Cups, meaning it's a very active. It's not just looking and dissipating. This is a very active team. It's a very it's over the top. It's like the opposite of being passive. And here we have the Ace of Cups. Somebody's trying to come up with a new idea how to push Joe Biden. It is a problem. It is a problem. It is definitely a problem of how to get this person on the shelf and selling. It's a marketing problem. It is a marketing problem. It is marketing. That is the work, is how to sell Joe Biden actively to the public. Still are questions. There's still questions of how are we going to get this man to work for us? How are we going to sell someone who has 10 cups of coffee to have a discussion, or he has amphetamine. I have no idea. But I do know the man is 81 years old, and he gets confused. And I feel that we're even watching elder abuse. I mean, somebody's taking advantage of this poor man, I think. He's not, this is President of the United States. This isn't a groundskeeper, a zookeeper. This is not someone who takes tickets. I mean, not to put any of those occupations down. I'm just saying this is the guy who's supposed to be, this position is the president, even if it's only a figurehead president, only if it's even a cheerleader president, it still is the president of the United States, a country that's falling apart. All right, now, this is saying what kind of celebration this is. So far, under these celebrations, we have yuckles. We have, it is a big deal. It is a hard sell. And we got it, and it's worldwide. So we have here the world, and we have the 10 of Swords. Everybody knows, maybe everybody's happy that we have a president who is a hard sell. Or they're counting on Kamala to be the shoo-in. Could this be the way a woman gets in? A woman as the first president? Possible. But don't you think that we, since half of our population are females, we could go the route of one-on-one without having to wait for successions? All right, now we have the Hermit. Hermit. Joe Biden. We have the Hermit. Is he the only one who believes in himself? The only one? Perhaps. The only one who believes in himself getting Joe Biden is Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Or does it mean that he has diminishing support? People are flipping. If you're not flipping, you're crazy. Because the man is getting weaker and physically weaker and weaker. Will he even live to... No, I shouldn't say that. I'm just saying the man is very, very old. Now he has the Lovers, and he has the Wheel of Fortune under this. This is confusing. Now, how can we understand this Hermit? He has the love of whom? And he has the wheel of what? What kind of fortune? He has the Democratic Party. He's a Democratic Party candidate. And people say they want him. Or this could represent the people of this country, the Lovers. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying that, is Joe Biden going to bring us what we need to have brought to us? More trade, vitality, no wars. No wars. I don't know why people, typically when someone, a civilian, an unattached, or let's say a civilian, a group of civilians, they have a problem. It could be monetary, it could be mental. Now, people don't embrace that group with cash for weapons. They work it out. What is the problem? Now, I don't understand why nobody wants to really go like, oh, wow, you're like killing everybody. You're having mass murder. You have a war zone. Oh, I want to get involved in this. And like, wow, this is something that like feels good to me. Now that right there is pathological. It's pathological thinking. All right. So we already know that being president. So I would say we have here in the Hermit it's not the best for the country. Well, I have to do more. I can't say that exactly yet. I can't say that. I mean, the Hermit means that are we isolationist, or are we going to stand up and stand up and assess this Wheel of Fortune? Let's take another couple of cards. Okay, in small doses. And each one of these cards are like high, and we have the High Priestess. Let's check this out. We have the Hermit. These are all higher level cards. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Lovers. And we have the High Priestess. And we have Temperance. Who's pushing? Somebody's pushing Joe Biden. He has a machine underneath him, obviously. And they love the way they've been doing things. And this machine makes others feel that they have no part in any type of dictates or say in this machine. I think this under this Hermit is a well-oiled Hermit. He has a well-oiled machine. And it does keep him at a distance. And that's the kind of president he is. He has a distance between him and the rest of us. He has a distance, to say the least. Now, this party scene happens to be, could be the rest of the world is just really happy that we have a feeble man who apparently gets lost because he's tired. He's not fit for the job. Is this a reason for a happy celebration? Or now, Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I'm gonna have to maybe go to another deck because this one. Let's see. All right, and we have the struggles. We have a situation. It seems like this party scene. We have like pros and cons, and we have the world with the persecution and the fiery combat. We have the magician. Another trick up our sleeve, which would be, this is the basis of the party scene, of the celebrations. And there's always another trick up the sleeve, which could come from a number of sources. Corporate. This could be the corporations. And the world, this could be the masses, the people. Together. And people do not like to admit that they're having a hard time. That could be the basis of the celebration. Now, we have the work card, which is selling everything to everyone. And we have an aggressive, because we have an upside down, inverted 7 of Cups. We have an inverted 7 of Cups. So it's actively engaged. There's an active engagement of a group of people. And they, excuse me, and they are full of ideas, full of ambition. They are ambitious, to say the least. And they're putting out their ideas in stages. In stages. So, I mean, I would say the campaign is already done. They're just rolling out bits of information. And here we have the poverty card, the Five of Pentacles, and we have making people feel better than they're not. And we have the Queen of Cups. All right. So, getting the receptive poverty into a state of active activities that are basically more work, cheap work, down with wages. Wages will go down. All right, we have a Biden presidency. Now, a Biden, how can they make, we have the Queen of Cups too, which is basically the Queen of Cups. I see keeping the lid on the actual circumstances. That's part of the work that's being done. Part of the work that's being done is lowballing the actual situation. And there's someone here, I would say, this disparity, high, low, low, high, is the root cause of aggression, upside down 7, of antagonism. And they're hoping to channel this energy into some sort of positive, let's get this country together, let's have a new work program. However, now, and we can only do that with Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Now, we could also look at this as just too much hassle. Too much. Now, we're looking at Joe Biden. We have here, once you're the president, you can always put a happy face on things. A happy face. Which means you can make celebrations. However, the people aren't really involved in wanting to do the celebrations. They're angry, they're depressed, and it's a hollow celebration. It's a celebration with only, it's like you have a ball and, an event, and you have food for like thousands of people, and only like 5 or 10, which they're used to. They're used to that scene. However, it's going to take a lot of quiet. Maybe that's why we have the Hermit. Joe Biden has the pull. He has the money. He has the pull. But he doesn't really have the people who are like having a hard time. Not the immigrants who like getting freebies. No, he's not reaching. Everyone here is a bureaucrat. I see he flows with the bureaucrats because he has made concessions. And as a president, I would see like his strength. Well, I would see that his strength is in the rich people that he knows, the wealthy people as such as himself, and the concessions he makes. And that's the kind of president, maybe it's the kind of politician that the United States has right now. And He's celebrating. He's celebrating with his people, his high-placed cronies. However, the party is not for the party, and his celebrations are an illusion, and the illusion is worldwide. It's a lot of work to get Joe Biden elected, a lot of work, and there's a lot of holes in the operation. There's a lot of holes, and there's a lot of I don't see it. I don't see it except just from a corporate point of view. Even then, corporations will fail when they themselves have no one to buy their goods, or their goods are just so much more expensive. I don't see alone, work hard, celebrations, and shabby, and a very like polarized celebrations. The celebrations is pushing a mantra of discord and apathy, indifference. You can only make so much magic when there's nothing to work with. However, and you can have all the right cue words, the lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune going your way with talk. However, wishing doesn't make it so. I would say that the fact that he's even portrayed as the well-heeled hermit doesn't really give me a feeling that even though we have celebrations as part of it, empty celebrations or stage celebrations, that there isn't enough people to work towards getting a Biden second term. That's what I say. That's what I say. And we could top it off with not those. We'll top it off with the light tarot. We'll top it off with the light tarot. Let me get it out. And we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what is. Let's put this back here and take this cup away. Yeah, we have to see that it's a lot of work. It's empty, an empty type. It's almost like Joe Biden for president is a hollow victory. A hollow victory. I don't think, except for companies that are getting concessions, corporate, or maybe it's even gone beyond that. We'll have to use your common sense and think about what a Joe Biden presidency could. We already know what it looks like. 4 more years of what's been happening. If that's what you want, vote for him. But I see a lot of people. I see the poorhouse card. I see the misery card, the Ten of Swords. I see the flight card by the and the dangerous time, fight and danger lurking in the Eight of Wands, as well as I see the lovers. I see the lovers though could be in with all the bureaucrats, all the I have mine, I have my yacht. I don't see a giving. I see a very isolated. I see a very isolated scene, as it's always has been. It has never been really. It has never been really a total sharing. I mean, the Joe Biden presidency so far has been what? Lockdown, take your shots, wear your mask. It's been a lot of like, oh yeah, 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, 8 shots. And I don't really see how someone telling us, lift some weights and get some exercise, eat proper foods. Let's see, get plenty of rest. No. I don't hear any of this. I always hear, stop your oxygen intake, stay inside, don't go outside, be fearful, be scary, be scared. But now we have stuff that really, after 3.5 years of this, 3+ years, now we have reason to really want to stay inside. I mean, we don't know because of the crimes in all the cities. It's hard to go to, and then people just don't forget. I mean, some of us do, but a lot more of us keep on having nagging reminders when we look at our bank accounts, when we look at our businesses that are like, I was doing this a year ago. Why am I still doing this? So, who has the blame? Who has the blame? Who will take the blame? Oh, you can always blame someone else, but I mean, people people can say Joe Biden president, Joe Biden. All right, now let's see. Let's take 3 cards and place on top of. Okay, one to give us one last insight of the work, the celebrations, which seems kind of miserable for some. 50% of the people are like, no, more than 50%. Here we have strength. When we have the world in a struggle, we have the magician casting. We have the magician casting spells or doing deeds that's going to be dangerous for many people. And it's also going to be a lot of strife. And we have the world looking at depression, burden. The world is like, it's not just the United States. United States. We are a collection of states, and we choose unity. And then this is the 3 of Cups. And this is the kind of celebration. We have an antagonistic bunch of people that are put together in this campaign for a Joe Biden president. And then we need strength. What kind to hold it together, because we have opposing forces being forced to shake hands with no solution in sight other than be happy because I say so. Now, over here, we have the 3 of Cups. Now, the 3 of Cups is an interesting read. The 3 of Cups. No, the 3 of Cups. Yes, the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups. Now we have a sensitive nature here. Very, very sensitive. A sensitive and timely approach. We have poverty. We have We have so many things that make someone feel that it is something that the balance of this, how to keep sensitive information inside, how to keep sensitive information inside. How can we do that? How? We have to ask ourselves how sensitive information. Oh no, this is not Three of Cups. This is not Three of Cups. My mistake. My mistake. It didn't look like cups. My mistake. No, it's Three of Coins. Three of Coins. Now, Three of Coins is it's in threes, right? Which is a universal number, a primary number. Meaning, this is almost like a stand-in, a filler, the Three of Coins. You don't have the time to do everything. You're evaluating what you can't bring to the project. This is making do. This is making do with what you have. Making do with what you have. It is not joyous, per se. It is not joyous. I had to think about that one. This is people getting together. This is people getting together and trying to work out, trying to get the two sides, the have and have nots, into a workable scenario. Again, each time we have chaos, we have hard, lean times, and somebody's having a ball with it. Somebody is finding it amusing, or they're putting on the amusement face. Now, we have here now, let's see, let's tie up this Hermit one more time. This Hermit. All right, now we know that it is a well-heeled hermit. And he has one-track vision. It's not embracing. Let's take this card here. And we have the Apprentice of Wands. We have learning how to. We have an immature group of people who are trying their best with like a little water hose to put out a big fire. And that in itself is a problem. Because how can anyone put out a class divide with the solutions that there's no work? You can fudge. There's no work. I mean, jobs are hard to get. Good jobs. Yes, you can work for now at a McDonald's or a supermarket. But, huh? You have a brain. You've been educated to have a brain. You're sitting around in the supermarket. You're sitting around McDonald's. Shouldn't you be out there mapping the stars, doing this, doing that, leadership? But they have robots, and even that you feed yourself a little bit, live in a hovel a little bit, and then how are they going to bridge the gap? These are all the problems. And people are going to wonder, why the hell am I doing this? That's one thing the hermit is trying to figure out and gaslight the people. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I would say Joe Biden, his strength is crumbling. His strength is crumbling. And there isn't any particular place, perch, that's safe enough, secure enough, even though he has high backing, plenty of money. But for the people, what is he showing? For the people. So I would say Joe Biden presidency, it's a lot of class divides. It's a lot of turmoil. It's a lot of poverty. It's a lot of two-tier lifestyle. It's a lot of dreams. It's not practical. It's not practical to have Joe Biden as the president. That's what I say on that one. All right, I'm going to take a little break, but if you care to have a personal dream, I'm still going to do Trump, and I'm still going to do Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Jr., and see who can be, because those are the three figures right now that are being given to us to comment on, to get excited about, to wonder, will this person be leading the U.S.? Who? Now, we know Joe Biden there's a lot of the Democrats are really basically the party of the rich right now. It's reversed itself. It used to be the party of the working man. Now it's the party of the rich. The rich guy who gives a few coins here and there. And he could take back those few coins anytime he wishes. They wish. And they make you mindful. We're giving this to you, and maybe you might have it too easy if we give you all these things. However, if we work together, meaning you work, they watch, then we can come to a solution. So anyway, a Joe Biden presidency is a lot of strife, and it's not workable. Well, it's not that workable. Anything is workable when you put enough. In a capitalistic society, you put enough money to quiet the beast. If you put enough money to quiet the naysayers. However, there's a lot of issues. I guess next let's take Trump, because both Biden and Trump are major players, both elderly men who have seen decades and decades of control, release, control, and we wonder how advanced their control factors really are. I mean, I think both when Joe Biden and Trump were little, I'm sure Trump probably had tutors, but I mean, the educational system was see, spot, run, spot can run, 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 run. Now it's a whole different reality now. However, it's important to remember that maybe the educational system has always been off, catering to some memorization of things is not the goal. The love of pursuing knowledge is the goal. And you don't get that with memorizing. You don't get that. You get it. You need to have hands-on, actual integrations, not just sitting and droning off to sleep, right? Now, if anybody has any love relationships they would like to, we take a break from politics, before we find out more about Trump, his availability. How can we welcome to join in? Welcome to join in. I'm going to take a 5-minute break or 10-minute break, and I'm going to get something to drink because my voice is getting dry. But I think that we really should find out, like, I mean, that was very interesting about Joe Biden. I mean, it was perfectly obvious he has well-funded means, of course. But you see him walking, you see him talking. It's like a leader should be different. Should have more swag. Should have swag, not just the ability to stare you down and scream at you. And then we're going to examine Donald Trump. However, is anybody out there who wants to say hi? Any of my 2 people who wants to find out how your job is doing, how your career is going, how your love life is going? Any questions? All right, I'll take a break. And if anybody wants to ask any questions, we can have a read and see some aspects of that question. I think we could do that. See some aspects of the question. If you want to have a read on where is my life going, think about it. I wonder, let's see, can even ask myself, where is my life going? I have so much to do, like so many other people. We have so much to do. There's not enough hours to sleep, if one sleeps on a regular basis. I mean, we're not machines, true. Now, we can. All right. So, I am going to be back. It is now 52, 53. 50, okay, 53. All right. I shall be back. Be back in 10 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So let's now think about Trump. Is he the candidate? What would a 2024 Trump campaign for president be like? Or Trump as president? We already just did Joe Biden's. And we can even take a screenshot and line them up 1, 2, 3 and see just a clearer picture of it. So now let's save the light tarot for after we do some diving. And let's use this deck here. And if you have any comments, please, extend them. And I want to thank my subscribers when they tune into this. This is an interesting read about who our next president in the USA will be. And if you have anything to comment, please feel free. And to those who would like to subscribe, please do, because that's part of keeping a channel open. And if you'd like to contribute, donations are always welcomed. This is a community energy transference. Energy work is work. Sometimes you finish and you feel like you have cotton balls in your head. And sometimes the hours are long. But it's blessings. It is blessings to be able to look and peer. I mean, it could be, I use these cards, but it could be anything. It could be anything. But concentrate. It could be anything. Ooh, that was loud. Softer. Now, we just pushed away some Joe Biden currents. And let's think now, what would a Trump presidency, what would be some random aspects of his administration or his being president? Now, let's see. We already said somebody to be president has to be physically, have the strength, mentally and physically. Well, I just met Trump once. Not met, I saw him. And closely. And he, as expected, was in his own reality, and I was in mine. So I was just looking. But regardless of that, the point of the matter is he physically fit enough with his weight gain? Does he eat well enough? I mean, he could afford to eat anything, so obviously. But does he have an eating problem? No. He's a few pounds over. Now, is that healthy? No. But of course, that's another aspect of it. Is he mentally fit? Well, he can hire and fire a lot of people. That's true. And so could Biden. We know that. We're not going to talk about Biden right now. All right, Trump. He has a lot of hassles, a lot of legal problems. Hi, Leo. Your situation. All right. Yes, I could do a read of your situation. But I do personal reads with donations. You can just put something towards my light energy work. Be appreciated. And we could, we can like get into what your situation is. You mean about Donald Trump? You'd like to hear about more about? You'd like me to continue with Donald Trump? Is that right? Continue. I just like to hear your predictions. All right. Ah, no problem, no problem, no problem. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, when you think about Donald Trump, right? You think about each of these people. I mean, we're supposed to be putting in, I guess, what's this? May, June, July, August, September. In 6 months, we're having a presidential election in this country, the USA. And all you just hear about, it's hard to like really get a feel on what does this mean? What does this mean? Now, we're three guys, Trump, Biden, and Kennedy, are being spoken about. So let's see now. We already did Biden, and we noticed that he had a lot of mullah, a lot of well-heeled people, and it was really polarizing, them and us type of thing. Now let's see if we have the same kind of feeling about Trump. Trump. Now everybody, I mean, as I said, I met the man once. Not met him. I was in the same room with him, and I have listened to him like many others on the small screen, on the computer screen, and I don't. I don't. Well, I know he has a huge ego. He has a huge ego, and people keep attacking him for that ego. And he's very much into certain parts of the country. I mean, he keeps on saying America first. However, that's that's to be seen. America, meaning the United States, is in deep doo-doo, deep trouble. So many people are hurting. We never got over lockdown and the COVID financial collapse of businesses, and everything is like 10 times more expensive. I mean, what costs like $4 is like $30 now, and the prices keep fluctuating up. So let's see now. Trump. Let's pick out 3 random cards to see where the Trump campaign, the Trump legacy, the Trump. 3 random cards just to give you, Donald Trump. All right, Donald Trump. Okay. Now, first we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. The Knight of Wands. Fiery. Then we have the Work card again. The Work card. And the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Six of Cups. All right. You can almost say that we have, the Six of Cups is a social scene, giving and shopping and browsing, and goods are constantly flowing inside out and around. I mean, this is a commerce scene, and people are enjoying. It's almost like what do you call those things? A free market, a marketplace, which is totally up his alley. And then we have the Work card here. We'll have to examine that. And then we also have this one, the Knight of Wands. What fiery message? Is he going to put some stamina? Some firecracker up our bottoms and get this country gabang. Is he? Is his presidency a revitalization or more of the same? It would be more kinetic. All right, let's see, first of all, what kind of work is involved in this. And we'll take 2 cards and we'll see what kind of work. Let's see what kind of work is involved in a Donald Trump presidency. Or counting, same thing, the pre-presidency, or, the campaign. And we have, look at this. We have the death card, which is a complete change. A complete change, and we have the hangman, which is basically a situation that can't be defined, or an inability to move left, right, up, down, center, just hanging there, stasis. It would be a change from the stasis that we feel. It would be meaning the death card represents the end of something, the end of, and we have here the death card and the hangman. So it would be the end of sitting and wondering. It would be turbulent. It would be change. The work card would be change. It would be change. Change from the usual. Change. A change. Well, obviously, if we had 4 years of Biden and then we have 4 years of Trump, they're not like Siamese twins. They're not like doubles of each other. It would be the change. Here, let's find out. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm not going to find out more about that yet. I will in a moment. But let's go to this marketplace scene. Browsing, shopping, gregariousness. People are happy. 6 of Cups people are searching. People are like busy and searching. 6 of Cups. They're looking to get elements involved in their mind frame. They're looking to get elements of busyness. How do we open up the country? How do we do this? How do we do that? How to move around? We would be moving around. We wouldn't be sluggish. We would not be sluggish. All right. So let's examine this commerce, this non-sluggish situation. Now let's just pick. I'll pick one from here. Make sure I just have one. And I'll pick one from here. Random cards. Now, let's see. What hint? So he would do some government programs. I'd say he would do them carefully, meaning he would cut spending off of certain things. Government programs, that he would cut spending. He would make cuts because we are already incredibly over our budget by trillions. We can never pay it off. Never. Nor could our grandkids, kids, our like 8th generation pay this amount off, because the inflation rate progresses each month. So what was 200 trill becomes 600 trill, becomes 1200 trill, 1800 trill. It goes on like that. Trillions, when I say trill. So it just is out of control. All right, now we're seeing this. Now, what is the Knight of Wands? The Knight of Wands. the Knight of Wands, the fiery message that he's bringing to the table, to the presidency. If he can't be more, it has to be more than the color of his hair. All right, let's see now. All right, let's see. We'll have one card here, and let's pick out a card down here, and let's see if we could get some insight about Donald Trump being president. Okay, he would bring a much more strength to the table than the last Joe Biden, and he would look the situation over. I don't see any movement. I just see assessment. I see that his message would be stay the course, keep calm, and I don't see any action yet. I don't see any way that he's going to change things. I don't see it. I don't see it in his message. And I see, all right, there is a change happening. We got this with the work card. And people are going to feel invigorated. And there's going to be cuts. There will be cuts to different programs. Cuts, government cuts, which we haven't had a break. We haven't had any. It will match. Inflation will hit the government. Donald Trump, inflation will hit the government jobs, government programs. Now, his message, though, is a little muddy. He's going to just be like, I'm eating well and we're strong, we're United States. But where is the plan? The plan of 7 cups. The plan, 7 cups is not a planning. It's a gaping, it's a staring, it's things like that. It's not an action card. Even though, could this be the message? A knight is bringing a message. And being of wands, a fiery message. I don't see much fire in just saying I'm like, can bust your chops. And looking at the situation. I mean, anybody who's like been around already has an analysis of what should be done, of what could be done. And the Democrats, Joe Biden's presidency, other than arming himself with every rich corporate interest, has not done really much for the American people, except to put us in categories of skin color, education, and job wage placement, which is always, and religion, of course, religion, and location. I lost some more. It really hasn't been very fruitful in terms of unity. Now, it's Trump. Trump has had plenty of time to study the case, study what has happened here. All right. So let's do 2 more of these, and then I'm going to switch cards to the light card, the tarot of light, and see if we can get a correlation here. Now, over this 6 of Cups, the marketplace, the shopping around, the cuts to programs in moderation, rationing. It could also be about rationing goods, rationing everyday resources. It could be that. It could be about rationing the government, using the government being that Hierophant, and temperance could say, and this being goods would mean that they're being rationed. So we could have rationing in, we're not, like Joe Biden prices have escalated so much under Joe Biden's presidency. Will a Trump deal with the inflation of price of goods by having ration cards, as they did, decades ago, ration cards. That's something you have to ask yourself. Could there be a solution? Rationing. You get 2 cups of you have 5 people in your family, so you get like 2 cups of sugar per week, and you get 6 eggs. You don't have to have eggs every day. Could that be in the picture? And then we have the death card, which is movement. Okay, let's go for that. Let's see that one again. All right, we have worldwide something. Worldwide. Well, something his decision is going to make the leaders of the world feel calmer. He's going to do something for our standing among the leaders of the world. Now, does that sound like he's going to do anything for the masses, for the civilians, for the citizens? Don't know. We have to continue our deep dive into this work. But so far, we know that he's going to be a complete turnaround. Things will change. Things will be different. Difference. However, how do we know that it won't be more of the same? Well, we don't before. And now we have a possibility of having rations. All right, rations of goods. Well, if our ports are blocked, like what happened in Baltimore, in the Red Sea, the Suez Canal, among other entry ports, then we would have to have our goods rationalized by the state. Rationed, not rationalized, rationed. And that would be, let's see more about the flow of goods. Well, we have this 6 of Wands. There's 6 of Wands. And there's 6 of Cups up here. The 6 of Wands would be, it's a solution that people are happy with. Some people. We have the 10, we have the 8 of Swords. So certain people are going to be happy about rationalizing, and certain people are not, because they're not going to get an even deal. Or maybe they feel they're not going to get an even deal. And so it's a you could say it's almost like first come, first serve, or it has problems. So we're going to have polarization among the distribution of the goods. I would say in a Donald Trump presidency, we're going to have goods rations. We're going to have goods rations. And we have the work card here. The work card. Now, we have this work card that we know that we're going to have a sudden change. We're going to have a definite change. We're going to get out of our I can do nothing mode. That's going to be the end of that. We're going to be scrambling. And we're going to be busy. And people around the world where the leadership is going to be, certain leadership has given their okay for this change to occur. Now, we have the Knight of Wands. This message seems not fiery. And I have these 2 cards that want a piece. We'll see. All right. Now, we have the Three of Pentacles. And that is a situation of celebrations because we are getting advice. We're getting advice. And we have the Sneak card, the Seven of Swords. And the advice we get isn't exactly, or the method that we take is almost, I would say, based on might, not right. Might. Can do, will do, shall do, type of thing. So, yes, I see. Well, there's much more movement under Trump than Biden. There's much more movement. And there is also polarization. However, and there's resistance. However, it's up to logical media blips that will either soothe the apprehension, the sluggish, I don't wanna, but there's some sneaky moves. They've got a sneak factor to this Knight of Wands. And they need people, even though there is there is a resistance to doing anything. There is going to be a resistance to doing anything. And people don't like changes. However, the situation in the country is going to make changes. It's going to make the change. Let's take the Tarot of Light and see what we see. See if we can get an interesting reflection on this. A Trump presidency. We're definitely having a different vibration than a Biden presidency. It's definitely different. We have more we have bolder action, bolder jumps. And the rationales are different. The rationale is do this or you die. Do this or there's nothing. You know, it's like 180. You do this, get off your feet, or get down on your knees. Get down on your knees and cry, or get on your feet and help out. That is the feeling that you get. And this may be, and also there's a sneaky aspect to this. A sneaky aspect to this in terms of solutions. Solution gathering. Who is the voice of the help? Who is the voice of the help? Who is the voice of the help in a Donald Trump presidency? And he's always had that problem, finding competent individuals who were not sneaky. They're not sneaky and did not have their own interest more at hand than the people's interest. Their own interest more at hand than the people's interest. Now, all right, let's see Their own interests. Yes, we have the sneak card, we have the wait and see, and we have strength, and we have I need help. We have the help card. And we have what? And over here we have the marketplace being, we have ration goods. Ration goods, we have rations. And we have a total switcheroo of the work thing. And it would be, it, we have rations and we have change, and we have end with Trump. We have rations and end of program. Certain programs are out the window. They're going to just toss them. And the poor may get poorer, but it will be a mix. It will be a mix. Right now, you can't. People lying all over the streets on drugs and stuff like that, and high prices. That has to cap. And how can he do that? By making a big change, incentivizing. He'll incentivize. However, once again, he's going to have problems with his health. And that's something that we've already lived through. And are you prepared to go through that again? However, I must say, in Trump presidency, unlike all these presidencies, by the Biden with his the person he hired, the trans person he hired who stole luggage. I mean, he's gone. And other things like that. I mean, it's a different type of philosophy. So, but I mean, we'll have to see. All right, now let's get a little bit more insight on this Knight of Wands message. We could see how it's going to be a little sneaky. It's going to have lots of outside help, and it's going to be resistance. And let's see. What is the major? Let's go. All right. We have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords don't work together. Two of Swords could also be sneaky deals, secret deals. A lot of deal making in this message, in this program of revitalizing, or at least pumping up the United States a little bit more. No, I don't believe so, because, well, they're all part of the same group in a sense. I mean, it's just like all people are hungry because their bellies are empty. That's, I mean, in that type. But I don't believe that Trump is linked to Russian. No, they have their own thing. They have nothing to do with the West. They're perfect. I mean, they have a huge swath of land, and they have many different ethnic groups, and they do not need Trump with his. They do not need Trump. The only thing Trump needs to do in terms of Russian interests would be peace. We don't want to bomb each other. We don't want to nuke each other. We realize that's total insanity. That's why we can make a deal. And maybe this is it is the secret deals. We can make a deal. What are Russia does not need the United States. Does the United States need Russia? That's a good question. I'll have to do a read on that one. But the Russians do not need the United States. They think the West and their leaders are all corrupt. They have a low opinion. And At least they want someone who feels they can walk with vigor. I mean, Russians are very physical people. I mean, we're physical too, but in a different way. I mean, plastic surgery and more plastic surgery as opposed to lifting weights and being like Superwoman or Superman, actually physically. I mean, they all have plans to stay in power. Russia wants to stay in power. The United States wants to stay in power. France wants to stay in power. However, sometimes the very earth you're on rebels. The ground energy. Now, we're going to put this one. Now, yeah, let's take two. Let's take two. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Strength card. Now, the work that we have to get done will be communicating to the people, stimulating the people. Again, this is a cheerleader position. A president is a cheerleader. I think that Russia gives its presidency, Putin, um, a lot of credit because he's not afraid to speak out. And we see here in this card here, the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. That it's a bombastic opportunity to work the airwaves in terms of sharing your ideas for growth, in terms of being, I mean, it could be all hot air. However, it is effective because once the death card takes down the hangman, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Where are we going to do? What is the fill-in? It just says that this whole thing is to say, lay it out, lay it out, and they will have, that is the work of the work card. Tearing down what is already useless and doesn't work, and having a new format. So he's definitely bringing his change, and it is a strong one. It is a loud one. It is. Even his naysayers are going to be quiet. And here we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. So we have a very fiery scene. It's almost as though. And we have the Champion of Swords. Well, we're going to be faced with the inevitable that we have no leeway. We must be clear. Clarity, you must be. Right now, we're going to be talking I'm going to be talking straight talk. That to get this work, the work that has to be done during a Trump administration wouldn't sparse words, would not sparse words. He would be saying a different message. He wouldn't say that everything is okay. He'd be said basically, life is shit right now. But you got to have the courage and the strength to move forward, to work this off, to get it together. I mean, what kind of life do you want for yourselves? And this one too, in his message would be basically, it's even like the eclipse, correct? It'd be almost like, what choice do you have? What choice do you have but to stand up in the face of evil, being darkness or light? That would be his solution. He says his message is basically, what choice do we have? Do you want to stay and just vegetate? Do you want to die? Do you want to build? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then here we have the champion of swords. Then we have somebody who, like, this is what we do. I'm fully in command, and this is going to work, and this is going to, like, move the economy. So I would say we have a bombastic time with Trump. And he would keep everyone tingling with fear, tingling with anticipation, tingling with apprehension. I would say that is a Trump president. Let's see. And that would be and that would be something that we could promise ourselves that we would have. I mean, the main thing we haven't been spoken to is that we had any sense. We've been spoken to with a lot of, he doesn't bring solutions, only aggregates. But Trump is the best, saying that everything is wrong. Yes, everything. Yes, you have to first of all know. I mean, if your guts tell you something's wrong, I mean, you have to listen to it. And anyone that says that he doesn't bring any solutions, half of getting a solution is acknowledging that there is like a shitload of problems. You must have the strength to look at the entirety of a situation, which is why you have the strength card and you have the Ace of Swords in the work card, in the Eight of Pentacles, the work card. That's why, all right, that in itself is successful, because now we're just being told, I don't know what we're being told. It's hard to comprehend. In terms of the message here is like, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. There's too much duality. There's too much of everything. And the most important thing is going forward, moving ahead, and like putting the past behind us, putting lockdown behind us, putting down lockdown. I would say the Seven of Cups could be the lockdown experience that we had, putting the pandemic, all these stupid things behind us, and finding the right people to help celebrate a new beginning. And yes, there is a sneaky element of this, a sneaky element. And that's what you have to watch during a Trump presidency. Because when he delivers his message, he is going to be going for like the overview, the over entirety. And here that we have the marketplace, yes, I think we're going to have ration goods. Yes. Because as it stands now, and if we do go to war, we have the Ace of Wands. I'm not going to do war talk yet. This is simply the presidency. The presidency of the United States. Now, even though there'll be a lot of opposition, even though there's a lot of opposition, people will feel stirred. They'll feel motivated, even if it's negative. Even if it's negative means it's still have the clarity and the courage to move and say it. And look at the overview of the whole thing. We must be able to like say what is really happening to this country. Let me read what you said. Well, Trump solutions? No. Does Biden bring solutions? Does any? Trump is saying that everything is best, saying everything is wrong. Well, what can you say that's great? I mean, you go to the store. Do you shop in this country? Do you see the prices? Yes. I mean, you can't say we're doing all right and jobs are great. No, they're not. We're not doing all right. Jobs are not great. Jobs. I mean, they already have plans to like farm out a great percentage of the jobs to robots, to machinery. He doesn't bro my solutions. He doesn't bring any solutions. Well, what does aggravate problems? I think they're already aggravated enough. His solutions are I say he's going to ration goods because we're not going to be able to get the goods. We're not going to get the goods because our ports are, and only to his golf courses and deals with Saudi and Russia. Saudi Arabia, those families are very, legacy families. Again, legacy families, almost like Trump, legacy family. But Saudi has made some good deals. I mean, I know the region. I'm not fond of Saudi in terms of like, oh, I want to be there. But I do know the region, and they're all infused with a lot of money from oil deals. Before they used to live in hovel huts, and now they live in like huge palaces. And the Age of Aquarius. See, that's one thing that we have to do as people. We have to elevate good people and leave the hate behind. We have to. No. We have to bring light into the darkness. And we have to recognize both parties, both war parties are trying to separate people into their little shells. Over here, you over there. I mean, this kind of dispersion is like, it's like Chinese checkers. The greens go over here, the reds go over here, and the whites go over here, the blacks go over here, and the purples go over here, the blues. I mean, that is not humanity. That is not humanity. And respect for old people. That's one thing that if we can get in touch with this plastic surgery, and good people like Biden is full of plastic surgery. How could he's not really he's not embracing his age, and how much I mean, I know that somebody 81 years old has certain physical facial things, you know, and he's already had 4 years, and the other one's had 4 years too. Maybe we need somebody different. It's a human upgrade. But everybody can get some. There's going to be ration cards, something. I'm not like advocating ration goods. Yes, that is called monopolies. Is Trump going to deal with the monopolies? That's a good question. I know Biden has not dealt with the monopolies. Before they used to have in this country, you could not buy, you could not merge two. There was a monopoly. And now, the last few years, it's one monopoly after another monopoly. You get a business, you get some investor money, then you sell it, and you sell it, and you resell it, and resell it, and resell it. And people are just like, before they used to have NDAs when you worked for somebody and you made their software per se. Now they don't even bother. They don't even bother because it's so saturated. And you have, we are in, it's corporate. Yes, but who is there more of, Leo? There's more, is there more, first of all, there's more of us civilians than there is of them, the ones that are really like, going around lazy and entitled. There's more old people in the civilians, in the masses, in the population. We cannot upgrade humankind. We have to examine hate, and not examine hate like, oh, you made me feel bad. No, no, no. That's not the way to examine hate. The way to examine hate is to basically understand why the hate is there. It's like a rubber band of it's a border. That's all it is. It's to keep you controlled. Hate is to control people. It's not to give any respect. Nobody really cares. I mean, any agency really doesn't care about the people. I mean, there are homeless people all over the country, and yet they still would tell that homeless person, you'd have to have your this bed that I offer you is $2,000 a month almost, and you have to be inside this room at let's say 6 p.m. and out by 8 p.m. And you are not to speak to anybody. These things are happening. These things are being funded by agencies right now. So no matter rain or shine, snow, sleet, uh, intensive heat, it doesn't matter. What matters is you listen to my way, my way, my way or the highway. That's what we have right now. Respect for old people. Uh, the attitude right now is euthanize old people. I'm not saying euthanize old people, but the attitude is euthanize. You're old, what do you know? And good people, who is, does power make you, does power make you good? Does power, ask yourself that. Does power make you good? Does power make you fair? Or what does power do to one? You can see the good and the bad, the high energy, the low energy. And what do? You must fight the battle. You must separate the two. You must do out one is it's in conflict. There's conflict, and it must be addressed. And right now, what do we have our battle? Battle to live decently, battle to eat more than just a can of beans a day. Of course, you have agencies that give you food. They are there. However, you have two hands. You have 2 feet. You can go and get your. In a society, you should be able to get your own food without handouts. You should be able to. And is it possible right now? You have to question yourself. Is it possible to get anything without a handout? Even when you want to work, how many people are unemployed right now in this country? The true number is anybody's guess. Do you think that, oh, and you can work in the city? True. But every day, are you going to be safe? Are you going to get to your workplace safely? Are you going to be mugged by someone? Are you going to be accosted, assaulted? You work late, you love your job. Is that job safe? Is that workplace safe? Let's say you're cleaning. There was a woman who was cleaning up offices, and she got on and she finished her job. Of course, after office hours was when she works. She was raped. She was raped. Some no good piece of trash decided to rape her because she was there. There. You're in a society of which you're just there by your physical presence. Now, how can we get people to value each other? How can we get people to value each other? You have to ask. You have to think about it. And that is, first of all, examining that we're going nowhere. We are going nowhere right now. Nowhere. We repeat our entertainment. We repeat our songs or this and that. It's not inspiring. Our actions, we have free drugs. Yeah. Why do you want a society that's full of drugs, legal drugs? You're saying, I know you're weak minded. You have to have drugs. Then you can be happy. And you don't have to pay attention to what we do. Somebody's having the good life, and more are having the shitty life. So I say you have to take. Just because we're saying Biden's too old, Biden walks funny. He doesn't walk with vigor. He can trip. He does trip. He could hurt himself. He is too old physically. He's nothing like the man he was before. Of course, you can say none of us are, but no. Yes. There are. You don't. It's a very demanding job, and you can't say an 81-year-old who has mobility problems and cognitive problems is the person for the job. And I'm not saying that Trump is the man for the job either. We're going to have crooked deals. We're going to have rations, and but it's going to be different in terms of people will feel that at least they know they're hearing about the condition of their country, which right now everything is peachy. Everything is peachy. In fact, telling people that I think the transportation secretary said EVs are the way of the future, and you're just outdated if you don't agree with what we say. Now, electrical EVs, electrical vehicles, have been around since in the beginning of when transportation. I think 2 centuries ago was 2 centuries ago. Cars were made to go on electric, but you know why they stopped it? Too expensive. Too expensive. And do you honestly think having electric vehicles, electric charging centers all over is the way to go? There is such a thing as good electricity and bad electricity, of which they're not telling you what is what. So I mean, we're going to a super state of mechanical devices, mechanicalization. We're working together with our machines side by side as if they possess, maybe they do, Maybe they do. Maybe they possess something. Now let's see one more. I mean, I think that we have just see that Donald Trump presidency will will fire up the people more at this point. But is it the answer? Firing them up to do what? That's the question. To work more, but working more positively, how? Those are questions. And cutting programs and rationing food will be some sort of marketplace idea or mechanism. However, case in point, it's going to take a lot more than cutting programs and limiting the dispersion of goods. And that's a question. It could be and this whole slogan people use, it's a question. But we know one thing, that there's more of the working class involved in a Donald Trump presidency. The illusion of it is the illusion of it. And illusions can work magic for a time. For a time. I'm not advocating any particular one of these people, because I think that there should be more than 2 people, more than 3 people. There should be we should have more choice. We should have a real convention, and who gets to pick the president? Who gets to pick the president? So I mean, there's so many stages of I don't agree, and I'm saying that I'm not advocating anyone. I'm just giving a read on what I can see at this time. It could change. And it probably will change to a degree. However, we're in a tumultuous place. I think my pussycat is asking for something, and I'm going to have to take another break. Before I get to Robert Kennedy, we're going to take a Robert Kennedy. What was his presidency? Robert Kennedy, what kind of leadership does he bring? And what would he bring? What would Robert Kennedy bring? He is the person that is neither endorsed by the Republicans or the Democrats. And he's also younger than both Trump and Biden. A younger man, which would, in a way, say he has more skin in the game, because he's technically, there's no guarantee, of course, but he has more issues with the constituents. Of course, Robert Kennedy has had a certain background of indulgence and apathy and frustration. So it's a combination: indulgence, apathy, and frustration. That could lead itself to other factors Yeah, I think that we should open it up to more than 3 people, the presidential. I mean, it's so closed, and people, they have their talking points going, yeah, Joe Biden would do this, and Donald Trump would do that, and Joe and Donald, and then we have now we can't give much attention to Kennedy, and then we wonder, what is Kennedy What is he saying? What is he doing? What is Robert Kennedy? Robert Kennedy. I mean, he has legacy. His brothers, his uncle, his father were murdered decades ago, and perhaps a portion of his interest to become president is to be able to get through an investigation and lay things to rest. I can understand that. I can understand that. And nobody's going to be giving him the information. That's true. That's true. So let's take a break, and we'll come back with Robert Kennedy for president. And of course, if anybody has or anybody wants any personal love, life readings, contact me, and I can do them now, or you can use my email at magic. No, excuse me. I guess I need to take a break. Mystic Galaxy Moons at gmail.com, and it's in the description connected with the video. And let me think about getting prepared to talk about Robert Kennedy. Just what is his trip, and what would that bring? Robert Kennedy. All right, I'll be back in about 25 minutes. I have to chill out